excited to announce that I got my wedding dress. Shopping for wedding dresses was so fun, like probably one of the most exciting experiences of my life, because you only get to do it one time. And I tried on a lot of dresses, but like the time went by so fast, and I'm kind of sad that that's a fake wipe a tear from my eye. I'm kind of sad that I'll never get to try on wedding dresses again, but the experience was really fun and exciting. And of course, it made me really excited for the wedding. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about my whole dress shopping experience, what it was like, price ranges, styles that I tried on, and like look at some of the ones that I tried on. So going in, I was very optimistic about the price, and I was hoping to spend around $600 on my dress, which I knew was low, but I thought I would be able to find something, and I was not really on the right track with that. There was not a lot of options in that price range. The starting price range was around $1,200. That's kind of the low end of what I was looking at. So yeah, I had to adjust my expectations going in about how much I was going to spend. And that price range also made me think about making my own dress, because I also had a very specific vision and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to find it. So I was like, well, maybe I can make it myself. Spoiler alert, I did not make it myself, and I'm glad I didn't, because it probably would not have turned out the way I wanted it to, and would have cost me a lot of stress and taken a lot of time, and yeah, didn't do that. So what I was looking for going in, had a very specific idea of what I liked, and I wanted a ball gown that was like fully covered in lace, like head to toe lace, 2 straps, like a thicker strap, and an open back. And I didn't like any beading. I don't like any like sequins or any sparkles or anything like that. So I thought that would like save me some money too, because all of that stuff is like hand done and it takes a lot of time, and that's why it costs more money. So the first store that I went into that I tried was super great. Like my experience was so good going in. They had someone come and meet us at the door. They asked like what we were looking for and what the price range was, and they told us how their whole store was laid out. So everything was laid out by style and by price. We kind of went over to the ball gown section first, because that's what I was looking at, and then they told us anything that has a green sticker is kind of like a lower price, and anything that was a yellow sticker was like mid-range price, and then red was like, stop, don't look at those, they're way too expensive. So that was kind of cool, and it made it easy to kind of know what to look at, what to avoid. So when we went over to the ball gown section, everything was either yellow or red. I don't think there were any green stickers on anything. It's like,
okay. They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
So we went and we picked out a bunch of those, and what was cool too is they gave us this like little container of clips. So anything that we wanted to pull off the rack, we could just stick a little clip on it, and it was like a color designated for our group, so they knew who it was for. And then anything that we wanted, they would just pull it down for us, and then I could go and try it on. So that was cool, made the experience very easy. So I tried on a whole bunch of dresses at that store, and let me get my laptop, and I'm gonna pull them up. We can look at them. They told me to try on the one that I liked the most first, which is a good strategy, because then you like have something to compare to. And the first dress that I tried on was pretty much exactly what I was looking for.
You have to look. You look at yourself first. Oh, honey, I love it.
It was so beautiful. It had this big skirt. It had all kinds of lace on it, and it was like there was no beading, no sparkle. So I thought it was very elegant, very pretty, very like bridal. It was very comfortable too, which was nice. It was pretty heavy, which, I mean, there was a lot of material, so it makes sense. But, you know, kind of part of the experience, you know? You want to feel like a princess. Yeah, I really like this dress. It had a really nice train too, and I love the lace that was at the bottom of the skirt. It added a lot. So that was definitely a front runner to compare to. It was a good choice to start with.
Okay, actually, it is like pretty much exactly what I wanted.
The next dress was very similar in style, but it was like a satin material, which was so pretty too. And that was another style that I have always liked, but it's very simple. And I really like lace. I think it adds a lot. Another material that I didn't realize was very expensive, lace. And if you want head to toe lace, yeah, it's gonna be expensive. The satin one was also super nice. Love the silhouette.
Your waist looks snatched in this one.
But because of the other one that I tried on, and it was a very similar shape and it had lace, this was just a little bit lower. So I did not go with that one. The next one also had a very similar silhouette to the last one. This one had a really interesting back. It was super nice.
Back is pretty too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a pretty back as well.
Yeah, it's not as low, but then you have that, yeah, cool, huh?
Yeah, when your size will be a little bit more open in the back. A little bit more.
But as you can see, way too sparkly for my liking. So we did not go with that one. Then this next one is very similar to the first one again, has a nice back, has very similar lace, but it was basically like a sparkly version of it. And it didn't have that really nice lace around the bottom. So I wasn't feeling that one as much, even though it was still a really pretty dress. Then this next one is also very pretty, very similar in style. I really like how it has more lace. It has like a whole layer of lace on it. And the back is so nice, like full lace back. And it was a low back and it was like partly see-through, so it was really nice. But I just wish that that layer of lace was on top. Like, why did they hide it underneath the other layer? It's so sad to have such a beautiful material hidden. If it were me, I would probably put that layer on top, but I didn't design the dress. Because it was my first time trying on dresses, I had to try a different shape just to see if I liked it. But I was not very hopeful about fitted dresses. It's just not really what I'm comfortable wearing. So I tried on this one. It was pretty, but it didn't really wow me in any way. Like, I didn't really get excited about the dress. It's pretty though, but yeah, I'm just not really comfortable in that tight of a dress. So, and it doesn't feel like as special as bridal to me when it's like fitted like that. Good to try on something different, but I knew what I liked. This next one is from their evening gown section, which is really nice. They have a section of evening gowns that they sell as bridal. So they don't really have a train. They're not usually as full, but they're essentially evening gowns that come in white and then they sell them as bridal. So they're a lot cheaper, which is really nice that you can get discounted dresses like that. And I still thought it was so pretty. Like, I was surprised that how much I liked the A-line style rather than the big ball gown.
That's very nice too.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to the first one, but you don't have a big train.
But once again, they hid the lace layer underneath a layer of tulle, and I don't know why they do that. I feel like the style that I imagine with this whole lace on the top is just not really in style right now. Looking at the ones I've tried on, they're all very similar, and I just feel like I've seen so many people wear that dress. And by that dress, I mean like basically all the ones that I've tried on so far. Like, they weren't super unique to me, and I think that I started to realize that that was really important to me. I wanted it to be unique and for people to be like, oh, I've never seen a dress like that before. So that was something kind of in the back of my mind as I continued trying on dresses, is like, is this unique? Is this like a special dress that's like my dress, or is it like could be anyone's dress? This next one was interesting. Again, it's more of an A-line. Which I did think is nice. It has these super weird sleeves, which I hated, so we took them off. But again, it has a little bit of sparkle, not too much, so it's like you can deal with it, but I still prefer if it didn't have any. I have quite a specific vision, as you can see. So everything was still really like being compared to the first dress. This next one had another interesting shape at the bottom, which I like this shape as well, but I don't really like this fake nude on the top. Like, it's kind of in like a nude color. I prefer if that was a different color, like it was white all the way. But again, it has a nice back, but I was still liking the first one the best. So that was it for that store, and I had a great time. So I booked another appointment at a different store like a couple days later. This store was a very different experience. I'm not gonna say the name of the store. It was a chain bridal store. So there's a lot of them. They're really big. When I walked into this store, there was someone kind of at the front desk, and then they were just like, okay, go ahead and look around the store and then your consultant will find you. Huh? And I was like, okay. So we started walking around, but this store, like, I had no idea how it was organized. There were like huge sizes and I couldn't like find anything really in my size. I didn't know where the ball gowns or where the other styles, like what's the price range. I didn't know anything. I just started walking around and the store was like huge. So it was like, what is going on? Where am I looking? I don't know. We started to find a couple of dresses that we were interested in, and then the consultant finally came over and was like, oh, hey, did you find anything that you're interested in so far? And we're like, oh yeah, there was like maybe 2. And then we had to go back and like search through all these dresses to find the ones that we liked. And it was very hard to find because we didn't have clips. We couldn't clip anything. We didn't know where they went. There was one dress online that I really wanted to try on and I wanted to see if they had it. So I showed it to her, but they only had a size that was like way too big for me. So that was the first one that I tried on. And it just, even with the clips, it barely stayed on. So it didn't really give me a good sense, but the material was kind of weird. It's very wrinkly and it's probably just because it was all like wrapped up in there. But like, I just feel like it looks like I'm wearing a paper towel. Like it just is such a strange material. So this next one I tried was very similar to one that I tried on at the first store. The second one, the satin one. It's also like a satin material, but I don't like the silhouette of this one as much. It's probably because it doesn't fit me properly. It's too big. But they didn't clip me at all, so I didn't get a better sense of like what it would look like if it did fit. But I like how the band on the other one doesn't have that like ruching, because it just looks more clean and elegant in my opinion. This next one is again very similar in style to the ones I was trying on at the other store. Open back, lace at the top, very similar to the other ones, but there was no lace going down it. It was just lace like at the top and then the rest of it was plain. And this tulle material at the other store, like the tulle was nicer, because here the tulle gets very like bunchy and it doesn't like just flow nicely when you're walking, like it gets scrunched up and it just looks like a cheaper material, and yet the dresses were costing more at this store. So that was confusing. This one has a huge slit in it, which I don't like. The low front is way too low. I didn't feel secure. Again, they put the ugly tulle layer on top. Like you can just tell by the way that it's sitting on the ground. It just looks like cheap and costumey. Like I feel like I would wear this in like a dance recital, not at a wedding. The third store that I went to was again nicer, much higher quality. We were the only ones there. It was also the smallest store, so they didn't have a big selection, especially because of how specific my idea was. But the first dress that I tried on, because it was harder to find things, I ended up trying on a strapless dress first, which was very pretty. I was always just concerned about feeling like it's gonna fall down all day, and like in the store you don't get a good sense of, okay, but I'm gonna be wearing this for like 14 hours or something. So even if it feels like, oh, it might stay on, it feels good right now. I'm like, do I wanna risk that and be like uncomfortable and pulling it up all day? So I tried on more A-line at this store because I realized that I liked it. And so these ones, again, I thought were very pretty. This one has a lot of lace, which is what I was looking for. But again, it just didn't feel very unique to me. I feel like I've seen so many people wear a dress like this because it's, you know, the style of dresses right now. So I was kind of like not very excited about it. This one again is very pretty. It reminded me a lot of the first one that I tried on at the first store, but it's more of an A-line than a ball gown. It has like all the lace, all that detail, no sparkles, so it was very much what I was looking for. Even though it was a really pretty dress, I think that the one at the first store was still better in my opinion, and I think it might have been cheaper. But at this store, most of them were over $2,000, so I was like, because I knew that the first store had a lot that I really liked. And so I was kind of, just because of that, like all the dresses I tried on at this store were a little bit tainted for me because I knew that they cost a lot more than at the other store. I feel like I'm talking very negatively about like almost all the dresses that I said. Like I'll pull them up and be like, this is pretty, but there actually are a lot that I really like. This next one, again, is very pretty, and I think it was on the discount rack, so it was cheaper because I could just get the sample and then I would get it like immediately and I could buy the sample and then, you know, do alterations to it. But they pretty much all fit me perfectly, which was working out really well if I did want to buy something off the rack. This one, again, doesn't have any sparkle. It has a really unique lace at the top and at the bottom. The bottom is so pretty for that. Like, I really love how that looks. The material just feels like very elegant and expensive. My least favorite part of it was the straps. Like, they weren't uncomfortable, which a lot of the other straps that I tried on that weren't thicker, I did find uncomfortable. I was just afraid, again, because like I've only worn this dress for like 2 minutes. I don't really know on the day if it's gonna be that comfortable, and I like the idea of the thicker strap, so I knew that I also had the option to like do alterations and change the strap, but again, how much is that gonna cost? So it's better to get everything you want in the dress before. This one I thought was very nice.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Do you like it?
The sparkle doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's a bit more subtle, right?
Yeah, and the lace is like unique, so that's cool.
The material was like a lot thicker. There wasn't any tulle, and the lace was so gorgeous and unique. And I had this square neckline on this one, which I thought was very elegant, and I hadn't tried on that neckline in any of the other ones, which I thought was really nice too. It had a bit of sparkle, but I thought like the uniqueness of the dress really made me not care about the sparkle as much. Now, this lace is what I'm talking about. This is what I always imagined for the full lace, which has been so, I think, out of style in the dress, like in the stores that I've been looking for. Like, I don't think it's a very popular style right now. So it's so hard to find something like this. And the consultant that I was talking to said like, yeah, we don't have anything else even remotely close to this dress. So I really like this one because it's so unique. And I think this one was also on the discount rack. So I could buy it in the sample size, and it was my size, and it looked really pretty, and I really liked it. And I think it was over 2,000. I think it was like 2,500, but they would be able to give me a discount to 1,500, which I was like, wow, that's like a good deal. And yeah, this was definitely a front runner because of how unique it is and it's so pretty. Again, I think my biggest deterrent on that one is the straps, because they're, again, very thin, and I was afraid because of the weight of it that it would be heavy and uncomfortable for the day. So that was kind of the other thing on my mind. The next one, again, gorgeous lace, beautiful silhouette. I love it, strapless. So, you know, could I add on straps? How much would it cost? What would it look like? It's hard to envision like what it would look like to add something else to the dress, because then you have to source the fabric yourself, and like, what if it doesn't match that well? Like, you really want to have exactly what you want, and I just was afraid. Like, I didn't want to have strapless because I was afraid it would be just bothering me the whole day. This one was interesting because it had a lot of elements that I loved. Like, the straps were the right thickness. It had a gorgeous lace and then another layer of lace underneath. It had a really beautiful like applique lace at the bottom. And then there were also things about this dress that I really hated. I didn't really like the silhouette. I hate the bow. And yeah, I think those things were a huge deterrent for me. I said I was going to show all of the dresses that I tried on, but I lied. I didn't show one, and it's the one that I actually got. But I will tell the story. At the very first store that I went to on the first day, my grandma saw a dress that someone else was trying on that I didn't see. She was like, can my granddaughter try this dress? So they brought it over, and it was from the evening gown wear area. So already great price because it's not actually a wedding dress. As soon as you put wedding dress in front of anything, there goes the price. The fact that it was an evening wear dress made the price a lot cheaper, but also it was more of an A-line because, again, cheaper. Like, you're not gonna wear a ball gown out really in evening wear. But I tried it on, and I was really surprised how much I liked that silhouette, because I think it was the first one I tried on that was a lot less than some of the other ones, but there was just something about it that was so unique, which made me really love it. And as soon as I tried it on, I was just thinking like, this dress just makes me think of Noah, which is obviously a really great, you know, thought to have when you're shopping for a wedding dress. Comparing that to the first one, which was like everything I had originally envisioned for my dress, and then this one that was very different, but more unique. Those two were kind of in my mind, and I was going back and forth on them when I was looking at dresses at different places. And then as we continued shopping, like that one that I bought just started like growing more and more in my mind as like the one that's special and the one that's like unique and the one that I really like. So that was kind of the one that I was comparing everything to. So after I went to those 3 stores, I knew that I did want to get that one. So I ended up booking a deluxe appointment, or whatever they called it. Like VIP. I booked a VIP appointment, which costs $150, and you're like, wow, why would you do that? Because you could just go in and buy it normally. But it was because they only allowed 3 people to come with you to the store. And if you do end up buying your dress there, then they will credit that $150 towards your dress. So it wouldn't actually cost me anything because I was going there to buy my dress. Like, I knew what dress I wanted. And we still tried on some other dresses while we were there because we got to have a 2-hour appointment. That's part of the VIP experience. Okay, so I'm editing right now, and I realized that I forgot to talk about all of the dresses that I tried on when I went back to the first store. So I'll just show a little montage of those because all of them were pretty nice.
Move it later.
Suddenly it becomes a 7.
Yeah, as she tries another, she's like 2.
Because I
Voted
really
off the
like how
island.
this reminds me of the other one.
Yeah, it's similar.
So not too dramatic, but still dramatic enough with all of the very pretty lace you've got going on here. So keep in mind we would order 2 sizes so we wouldn't have all of this like ruching happening up here.
Right. Okay. So it would just be
Flat. It would be like a lot more like slit. So we've got some slit action in this one. Not too dramatic, but it's kind of hidden. But when you take a step, boom! Yeah, legs.
exactly.
Very simple, very elegant satin bodice. Very pretty V-neck, not super deep. And I love it. America's Next Top Model. Where did Rachel go? Oh. And a very pretty A-line lace skirt. Do you like this one?
I could go without.
Goodbye.
Oh, I'm here for this. So,
Ooh.
we are going to play a little game. She's told me her rating of this dress. I want everyone to guess what the rating of this dress is.
11.
How's the rating?
10.
Oh, actually.
Exactly.
10.
Okay. Rating? Well,
9.75.
okay. Rating?
That's very specific.
A 9.
Okay. Rating?
Oh my.
What do you think she said?
Maybe 10?
Low back, low front, very cute V-neck. She said so pretty.
Sticking to itself though.
It is, just because like she's been recently unraveled.
Okay.
So the horsehair itself, like you could steam this and it would stand very straight.
I actually like the veil because it is that, like exactly what you were saying. The dress is a
Very
lot.
I was thinking of a longer one just for the other dress that I was looking at.
Because this one's already so big, I think it looks good with this one.
So I tried on a bunch of other things to just like, you know, last second compare. I knew that store was really quality from the first time I went there. So I was like, well, maybe I'll find something else that I really love. But I tried on a bunch of other ones and I did end up loving that one the most. So I bought it, took my measurements, paid for it, and it's gonna come in a few months, I think. And the best part is, it was only $630, I think, with the tax. So holy smokes. That is like, it was literally under my $600 budget. I was not expecting, after like searching, to find something that was actually under that budget. that I actually wanted and like wasn't just settling because of the price. Like I genuinely loved this dress the most. So it was so exciting because I got what I wanted for a good price, and it's gonna help me like stay in budget for a lot of other things. Because like, well, I could have spent $1,500 on my dress, but now I have all this extra money that I can use for something else. Anyway, I'll be very excited for you to see the actual dress in the future. But for now, you'll just have to wait, and there'll be other wedding planning videos to watch. So come back and watch them.
I couldn't do it for that long.
Wow. That's
I heard a noise and I didn't like it.
oh no.